Good evening humans, Tyrannosaurus Moth here, and tonight we're going to take a look at the Super 7 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Ultimates Leonardo figure. I've been a Ninja Turtles fan since 87, 88, back when the original cartoon aired, and I've been a Leo stan that entire time. Just swords, leader, that whole sort of thing. I am a Leo, so a lot of connections there. So when Super 7 announced that they were going to be doing a TMNT Ultimates line, this was the first one I wanted, and it's a really solid start. Really excited to see where the line goes from here. So without further stalling, let's talk about the details. Let's do this. Kicking things off, let's discuss Leo's aesthetics, and I'm going to say it right off the bat. It's very clear that a lot of love went into this, and that makes it just a wonderful thing to have. I'm just glad it exists. Super 7 has done a fantastic job. They tend to do a fantastic job with their figures from everything I've seen. This is my first foray into their actual product, and I'm very much pleased. So looking at it, it's very much homage to the original toy line, which was a huge part of my personal childhood. And there's some added details, like some silver on Leo's belt. Getting really up close on it, you can see they actually put kind of fabric style texture on the headband, which is amazing. I got a little bit of paint wear on mine, which is sad, but I mean, it's not the end of the world. That's something I can definitely fix, and it's understandable given the state of the world right now. Beyond that, we've still got some more rivets back here that have some paint on them. You get some leather texture. The swords have extra paint everywhere, the gold, silver, and brown. Just what a wonderful combination. It really just brings it to life. And oh, before I forget, they even painted the nails on both the feet and the hands, which is just a wonderful detail. This is the toy head sculpt. There's another one, but I'll get into that in accessories. And just driving that home, putting this next to the original figure. This is actually a reissue, one of the many reissues they did, not my original, unfortunately. But I mean, you can see they nailed it. This is just that's a lot of love going into it, and I could not be happier with it. Okay, for accessories, Leonardo has a lot, so I'm gonna just go into this and try to be as concise as possible. Starting off, continuing with the homage motif, this comes with the actual weapons rack. And I have the original here, and you can see, once again, a whole lot of love goes into it. It's as accurate as can be, and I could not be happier with that. That's just wonderful. And to top that off, I'm not even going to try to stand those, you get all those weapons painted, so you don't even have to take them off the little rack. So you get everything painted. All the daggers, the swords, and the shurikens. Everything accounted for and painted or not, all depending on what you want, what your preferred aesthetic is. Then, beyond that, you get an open turtle com and a closed turtle com, which is kind of akin to what NECA did with their cartoon turtles. And moving on, I alluded earlier to a different head, so you get a more unique sculpt that Super 7 has come up with. I think Four Horsemen did this sculpt, correct me if I'm wrong. And same thing, you get the texture in the headband, just a little more serious looking, still in keeping with the original. It looks a little more realistic, but it does not break up that. It doesn't look out of place by any means, which is pretty cool. So you get options there. I haven't removed the head here because that one's pretty tight. All the joints are pretty tight, so except for the legs. Get into that into articulation, but I didn't want to mess with it, and I haven't heated it up yet. Finally, we move on. We got hands. So we have two grippy hands that he can hold his swords and other weapons with. You actually get a second set of grippy hands. I haven't popped these ones on yet, so I don't know if they're just tighter or looser than the ones that are currently on Leo, or which are the ones that came on him in the box. And then you get two fists, punching, and two martial arts claw hands, which look fantastic. Definitely going to use these in photos. All of these, again, with the nails painted and stuff, so it's in keeping with everything else, and they look absolutely wonderful. Oh, and lest I forget, a slice of pizza. Because it's a Ninja Turtle, and if you're going to put that many accessories, you better have a pizza. That's all the accessories. So now let's talk about how Leo likes to move it, aka articulation. This figure has some great articulation. There's some limits, but that is to be expected considering these characters are anthropomorphic turtles. As you can see right off the bat, it balances pretty well. I do not have this on a stand or anything. It's gonna fall over. Oh no! As you can see, so I got him in a kicking position and took a little bit of work. But I mean, that's badass. So, beyond that, let's get him back more neutral. Starting from top to bottom as we do. The head is on a ball joint, but just a single ball joint. So we don't really get any down. Get a wee bit of up. You can get some toot out of that. Turn all the way around, of course. Moving down to the shoulders. They come up about that high. You got your bicep swivel. Single joint at the elbows. So you get about there. So not quite 90. For your wrists, these hands, the ones that are default, actually have your vertical hinge. I love this. This is what every weapon holding hand should have. And they come back up. And of course those can twist around. Wow, that can be careful, these do pop out pretty easy. And going down from there, I'm gonna come back to this in a second, by the way. There's some like kind of piece here that's a little floaty, and that gives you some kind of side to side, so I guess that counts as the ab crunch, even though you don't get really a lot of crunch out of it, but it does move, so you can do with that with what you will. And then we've got some ball joints on hinges for the legs. I don't know how well that's going to show up, which gives you your thigh swivel, and the turtles can do full splits, which again, fantastic. Ninja characters should always be able to do splits. Single joint at the knee gets you again about 90. Our feet can, oh, mine are super tight. I'm gonna see if the right's a little bit easier. There we go. We can get our full point. We can come forward really well, and we got a fantastic rocker in there. It can get pretty much all the way to the side. Actually, you can go beyond it. That's, you got some like stupid rocker there. And so going back to what I was saying earlier, with in terms of points with the hands and stuff like that, which I didn't realize I was doing this. I'm rubbing off my nail polish here. The other grippy hands, the difference actually is these are vertical hinges, these are horizontal hinges. So these are your up and down, these are your side to side, like that. So your slashing hands. So that's why there are two gripping hands. Finally, just the things getting not in the way of it, articulation, but certainly a thing to keep in mind, and I've heard this from other reviewers as well, that the legs are pretty loose for what they are. So it's going to take some work, and there's certain positions that you're really going to have to try, and you can see that that's just like given out. So my recommendation there is get you some floor polish. Look up what types. I'm still kind of experimenting with what works for me, but like wood floor polish apparently works really well, and I've had varying degrees of success with what I've tried so far with other figures. Getting really low there. So that's articulation. So how does the one who leads size up against other figures? Let's check that out. First off, as you can see, we're going to start off with himself. So as we have our Super 7 Leonardo, we also have our OG Leonardo, which I brought out earlier, but now you can see the actual size difference, and the NECA movie Leonardo. So very interesting strata going on there, but not unexpected. Take those out, and then let's bring in some Marvel Legends. After that, let's bring out another Blue Ninja. Let's look at him next to Storm Collectibles, Icy Arms, Sub-Zero. Honestly, I think this looks really good. that has a lot of potential for photos, which I'm probably going to take, and I need to remember to do that. But beyond that, let's look at another larger figure, and one from within his own line. Let's look at Shredder, who is pretty much the same height as Sub-Zero. I guess spoilers for the Shredder review. So that's a really cool sort of lineup, and that has a lot of potential. Just saying. So let's take those out. So now let's move on to my favorite line, the one that I collect the most right now, or everything out of, at least up to the current run, and that is the Lightning Collection. And we're going to go with the the Mighty Morphin Red Ranger and the Monsters edition, or Monsters series offshoot, whatever you want to call it, King Sphinx. Again, really cool. That actually lines up relatively well. I think Legacy is probably going to work better for this, only because, like, this is the standard Legacy Rangers are a little thin and, like, just not, it doesn't look right, as you can see. So if you want to do that pair up from, actually, now that I'm trying to think of it, I can't remember which my Power Rangers season that they had the team up with the Power Rangers and the Ninja Turtles. Excuse me, I'm a little tired. But you can recreate that. I think Legacy will work much better for that. And finally, as always, me as an articulated icons ninja. That's size comparisons. So, final thoughts. Straight up, I love it. It's everything I would want an update in Ninja Turtles to be. Aside from the slightly loose hips, which again is a fixable thing, this to me is perfect for what it is. And the amount of love that went into this, I can't stress that enough, really shows, and it's fantastic. I'm definitely sold on Super 7, and I didn't show the packaging, but the packaging is something else as well. I mean, they do not cut any corners, and I love them for that. At this point, these are my first two like Super 7 orders, and I love it. I'm not all in on the line just because of the price point, and that's probably going to be a hindrance for a lot of people. But with the quality, the attention to detail, it's just, I can't recommend it enough. I have Metalhead and Mondo Gecko on pre-order right now. I'm really hoping to see that. I have some figures that I really want to see, and I'll probably do just a video that is about what I hope, where I hope Super 7 goes with this line. But for now, I want to know from you if you are collecting this, or if you're interested in these figures. Like, what OG TMNT figures do you want to see redone in this style? I mean, there are so many. There are so many, and I had so many as a child, and it's kind of awesome to be able to relive that as an adult. So let me know in the comments, and as always, thank you so much for tuning in, and if you made it to this point of the review, thank you. I truly, truly appreciate every single one of you. Like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. Share it if you think other people will find this useful, and I will see you in the next video. So take care of yourself. Peace.